Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name's Alex Tyrrell. I'm the Senior Talent Partner for Arla Foods in the UK. So basically my role within Arla is I recruit engineers for the UK supply chain. So that's covering our 9 manufacturing sites in the UK, anything from engineers up to kind of senior engineer manager level. I've been with Arla now 14 months. The biggest thing I enjoy about Arla really is the diversity, the varied challenge, but also kind of our business model. Obviously, our business model as a cooperative is very different. And I think from a working environment, it's very transparent. So obviously, I've had the opportunity to see the farms and see kind of the process from end to end. So I think that's obviously it's very good, and it does make you feel very proud about the products we produce, how we produce them, and yeah, obviously it gets you involved from a kind of family standpoint. So yeah, like I said, very good journey for me so far, and obviously one that I hope will last a few more years. So I'll pass over to Mel now, so a quick introduction, and then we'll jump into the presentation.
Thank you, Alex. Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this Enactus session. Just to introduce myself then, so I'm the Talent Acquisition Manager, and I've been at Arla for just under 3 years. And I've recruited for pretty much every head office position that we have. So hopefully, if you've got any questions around today's opportunities, the graduate schemes, and the roles that you could potentially lead into, hopefully I can give you a good insight into them a little bit later as well. I'll be on the chat answering as many questions as possible, but hopefully this session will inspire you to want to be a part of the Arla family and join us on our sustainability journey. Over to you, Alex, the agenda.
Great. I will. Perfect. Good. So see, obviously we've done quick intros. So obviously myself and Melanie will run through the Arla Foods business model. We'll also talk around, so 10 minutes circa around about Arla Foods. So we'll give you a view of Arla UK. We'll also give you a view of Arla globally. And then obviously we'll run into our graduate schemes and what obviously opportunities we can offer across the UK, but also Europe. And then obviously the remaining time we'll hopefully allocate and answer as many questions as possible. So going to the first point, obviously Arla Foods. So globally, we are a farmer cooperative. So basically our business is very much a European business. It was created in Denmark and Sweden. So we are now owned currently by about 9,000 farmers. From that, we basically own around about 1.5 million cows. Like I said, big business in Europe, Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, some around Nordics, around Norway, but we are certainly growing as a business. We've recently acquired areas in North America, Bangladesh and MENA, so Middle East and Africa. One thing that we are immensely proud of is that we are amongst the best in the world in terms of efficiencies and sustainability within our production. So for every 1 kilogram of milk that we produce, we only produce 1.5 kilograms of CO2 emissions. We will talk a little bit further around about sustainability pledge and how we are looking to improve on that. But I mean, from a standpoint of our business and how big we are, obviously we are immensely proud of where we are at the moment. So obviously from the Arla farmers and the cows, we produce around about 14 billion kilograms of raw milk each year. And basically from that is then distributed across our manufacturing network. Globally, it's around about 60 sites, but again in the UK, it's around about 9 sites. And then obviously from that raw product, we produce around about 7 billion kilograms of our nutritious dairy products. Anything from butter, such as Lurpak and Anchor, all the way through to your milks that you may see in Asda, Tesco's and Sainsbury's. We also do our private label brands, such as B.O.B, Cravendale, and obviously many other products. We do distribute and currently sell within 152 countries. And obviously the biggest thing for Arla is making sure that we have the lowest possible negative impacts on the environment. So again, obviously sustainability is and always will be one of our highest priorities. So to move on to a bit more of the UK centric, we are the leading dairy group in the UK. Obviously our competitors are the likes of Muller. But I mean, in terms of the UK, we are 100% owned by our farmers. The UK business provides Arla with 1/4 of its revenue, group turnover, from our manufacturing sites and our farmers. Out of that 13 billion, we produce 4 billion litres of milk per year. And an interesting fact is 1 in 4 of the UK's dairy farmers actually own a piece of the Arla business. In terms of our future strategy, we've recently outlined our Future 26, which basically is our next year our four-year strategy from now. So our global vision basically is to create a future dairy business, which obviously brings health and inspiration to the world. Our UK vision and a kind of segment of that is what we've described as kind of stronger people, stronger planet. So for us, our 4 pillars really is leading sustainably. How can we operate more sustainably? And obviously, how can we be the cutting edge within the dairy industry in that field? Scale to grow is in line with our innovation. We're always looking to improve our products, improve our packaging, and obviously improve our market share. So of course, obviously innovation is at the heart of it. Build to grow is in line with our digitalization strategy. So how we can obviously be more present in social media, how we can grow both our people and our business further. And then obviously the final part of that is how we can be more efficient. So a big thing for us is making sure that our countries communicate, we are standardizing in our production, and in every way possible being more efficient. So here's a short video I'm hoping will work.
Food is a powerful thing. Yeah. It has the power to shape the very bodies we live our lives in, and to shape the planet that we and our kids and our grandkids live on. Few other foods possess as much of that power as dairy. Dairy is nutrition and nature in one, as farmers look after the land and keep it healthy, while their cows turn grass into protein, calcium, and many more nutrients needed by a growing population. This is what drives Arla and our farmers, building stronger people and a stronger planet. For us, eating well starts with our farmers, who produce natural, wholesome food that is healthy, sustainable, and tasty. Every day, Arla farmers take steps to support and shape Britain's countryside. Our 2,000 family-run farms in the UK have some of the most stretching environmental and welfare standards in the world, all of them working with individual action plans with the aim to make dairy from Arla carbon net zero. With our cooperative values of responsibility and care, we see it as our job to help people to eat well. And it's never been more important for people of all generations to be informed about what they eat. We will fight against food insecurity and food poverty, and seek to inspire and build knowledge on what eating well means, both today and in the future. By enabling people to eat well, we help them embrace life with confidence, making life better through food, powerful food. Arla, for stronger people and a stronger planet.
Perfect. So lead on to our sustainability pledge. Arla has obviously a 30-year sustainability strategy. Obviously, we broke that down into different segments. So by 2025, we aim to be 100% recyclable packaging in all our products. And we also aim to utilize green electricity across all of our operations in the UK and Europe. By 2030, we aim to reduce our CO2 emissions by around about 63%. And also by the end of 2030, we also aim to reduce our further scope 30% CO2 emissions in our farms, which obviously is the most difficult part for us because it is the biggest part of our operations. Then obviously further on in terms of 2030, we also aim to use zero virgin fossil plastics in all our packaging. And we also aim to, as a minimum, reduce our food waste by 50%. The ultimate aim for us is to be carbon net zero by 2050. One of our sites in the UK, which is our flagship dairy site in Aylesbury, which produces around about 1.5 billion litres of milk per year, is a fully carbon net zero plant. So we are looking to emulate that across the group and standardise. But I mean, in terms of where we are on our journey, we are certainly heading towards these goals. So yeah. So I'll pass over to Mel to discuss a new initiative we brought up, which is the Arla Care Programme. So yeah, Mel.
Thank you for that, Alex. So I don't know if you've recently seen, but we have launched an advert. It's basically a new care programme that we've released. So basically, our consumers care more than ever about how their food is produced. So we've launched this new set of higher welfare and sustainability standards across our Arla branded milk. And you might be thinking, you know, what does CARE mean? Well, it means cooperative, it represents animal welfare, renewable energy and ecosystems. So this will be an industry leading requirement for all of our farmer owners producing milk for Arla's Cravendale, Bob and Big Milk brands. Yeah, Alex, if you just go to the next slide, please. So 87% of our consumers say that they care about animal welfare, and 78% are concerned about the environmental impact of their food. So Arla Care will feature on our new packs of like logos across its branded milk portfolio. I guess in terms of kind of like the programme, it's going to be the UK 360 programme, where all Arla farmers that are part of that programme are required to meet the existing 12 standards. And an additional requirement now is grazing. So these standards include biodiversity and restoring the natural ecosystems, as well as commitment to reducing its overall usage and using renewable energy on farms. You can just go to the next one, please, Alex. So I guess in terms of provenance, it's becoming increasingly important for our consumers when making their food choices. So by introducing some of the highest welfare standards onto our branded milk ranges, we can then provide shoppers with the knowledge that it's being produced with welfare and nature at the heart of that. If you just go to the next slide, please, Alex. Yeah, I was just going to say this before we put the video on. So we do have an advert. You might have seen it. The song is like a classic hit. It's a remix of Everybody's Free, and it's sung by the Arla farmers, and it's to celebrate the herd's access to obviously the new welfare standards, and it shows that when everybody comes to it. So Alex, if you want to play this video, this isn't the version of the advert, but it gives you a very good idea of it.
Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Everybody's free.
With all our cows free to graze, Arla Cravendale is the purest place it comes from.
Perfect. So thank you, Mel, for that. So what we'll do is we'll obviously talk about the graduate opportunities we have at Arla Foods, the routes to market, and just kind of as and when that we are going to be recruiting these positions. So basically there's 5 main areas, 5 main graduate routes into Arla Foods. So our F15 Future Leaders is basically an accelerated program. So this will touch into most areas of our business, commercial operations, supply chain, logistics, and so on. I'll talk a little bit more into detail on the next slide, but production management, obviously that's within our actual site-based finance, commercial sales and marketing. So kind of 5 main routes into Arla Foods. So the first one, is our F15 Global Head Office Graduate Programme. This is positioned in Aarhus, in our global head office in Denmark. They are 2-year programmes. Again, these are accelerated programmes, so it's basically 3 8-month rotations in different areas of the business. So obviously commercial, operations, marketing, finance, supply chain and sales. Obviously the role will start within Denmark, but there is the opportunity to get to different countries. We typically take around about 15 future leaders into this program, and we typically start to advertise this time of year, so around about November, December, and the role will start in September of next year. And the next one is our finance graduate program, which is based in our Leeds head office in the UK. These are 3-year programs. Again, what we do like to do within our graduate programs is allow rotation, so you do get to see different elements of the business, work with different stakeholders, and hopefully obviously see different and work with different stakeholders, obviously just to kind of broaden your experience during that placement. I mean, historically, we do kind of advertise them around about January, March next year, again to start in September, and we typically would take around about between 2 and 4 people for this program. The next one again is our production management. So this will be site-based. So working at one of our various production sites in the UK. This is a 2-year program, and obviously it's focused on our global supply chain. Again, you will have rotations, but the opportunity is within the UK, but also within Europe. So you can travel to different sites in Europe, again, to work within different cultures, work in different sites, and again, to broaden your experience across them 2 years. Typically, we start to advertise around about December of this year, and again, we recruit. The person would start in that role in September next year. And the next one is our commercial sales graduate program. Again, a 2-year program, 3 different rotations across sales and category. This again is based in our Leeds head office in the UK, and the timings are very similar. So we'd advertise around about January, March of next year to start in September. So yeah, and it typically would take around about between 2 and 4 people for this program. And finally, our marketing graduate scheme, again, is a 2-year program. As similar to all our other graduate schemes, we do offer rotations. So you'll obviously like to get to see brand, category, digital and product management, which is more around about our innovation and how best to sell. This again will be based in our Leeds head office shown there, and typically advertised around about January, March of next year to start in September. So perfect. What I'll do is I'll stop sharing, and hopefully we'll get through as many questions as possible. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Alex. Yeah, just to add a note as well, I guess in terms of the graduate programs that we offer here at Arla Foods, is the fact that you can do different rotations gives you a really good opportunity to kind of find where your passion is. You know, if it's whether that's category, whether that's finance, marketing, shopper, it really gives you that hands-on experience of where you want to secure a role in your career after the graduate program. So just to obviously make anyone aware, if you had an interest and you was maybe in between 2 areas, I've seen quite a lot of people come into marketing and be interested in digital, but then looking at brands, and it just gives you a really good, clear route into the industry that you want to be in.
Yeah, and I think obviously if you remember, if you're part of the summer series we did, and obviously kind of linking into my earlier conversation around the transparency of Arla and obviously getting to view the supply chain. Obviously, if you were successful within Arla, you would obviously have the opportunity to visit the farms and see how the business works from end to end. And we also have had a number of individuals obviously come into programs and travel several different countries. So obviously go to Denmark, go to Sweden, go to Germany. And obviously with our business expanding into different areas such as North America, Middle East and Africa, obviously I would imagine there would be opportunities to arise in that area as well. So yeah, I think we can see some questions coming through the chat, and I can also see Pranav has his hand up. If you'd like to unmute yourself and ask the question, then we'll hopefully answer.
Hi, good afternoon, Alex and Melanie. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was very insightful. I did have a couple of basic recruitment questions and then questions about the graduate program. So in terms of recruitment questions, are the applications going to be rolling?
So what we'll do is we'll advertise, we'll probably, like I said, in most cases it'll be Q1 of next year, so January. So what we'll do is we'll advertise for a period of around about 2 months. At that point, obviously, and during the application process, we would obviously reach out to individuals to discuss your current circumstances, go through your profiles, and then what we'd likely do is hold assessment centres. So we'd obviously invite as many people as possible to these assessment centres, which will be hopefully interactive with ourselves and the hiring manager. Go through your profiles, discuss the opportunities, and then from a second stage standpoint, we would invite the individuals that are successful from that point to our head office to have face-to-face interviews, see the site, and then go from there. So in terms of the process, we'd likely recruit from probably January to probably June, and then around about June time, we'd like to have the offers out and obviously the places filled.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And so just to reconfirm what you said, so the application process would be you submitting your CV, then the Arla will have a look at it and contact us if we fit the job description, and from there you'll be fit into the application assessment centers. Is there an element of online processes or an online application?
Yeah, so I mean, the application process itself will be online. So yeah, if you saw the advert, was interested, we'd obviously encourage you to apply to the position, and then one of the team, so myself, Melanie, or one of the wider TA team will reach out to you via telephone or via Teams, we'll have a conversation, and then obviously then we'll put you through to the process for the assessment centre, and obviously that would be virtual in the first instance, and then the second stage would be face to face.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you. So, yeah.
I'm just going through some of the questions now, Alex. I'll also put my email address in the chat as well. So if anybody's got any other questions and want to reach out for some advice, you know, feel free to reach out to myself or Alex, and we'll come back to you if you want to reflect on some questions or get some direct feedback.
So I have a question here, 10 years experience in sales and marketing, but in the financial sector, how can I fit into Arla? I think one of the beauty and one of the things I've seen recruiting into Arla now for 14 months is that we are a diverse business, both from an individual standpoint, but also experience standpoint. So I think Arla will certainly value your experience in different markets. I think operating in different markets is good because you have a different sense of an opinion. You'll look at different challenges in a different way, and therefore obviously you can bring different experience, different skill sets, different thought process to Arla. So certainly from that standpoint, we'd look at your transferable skills. So yeah, I would certainly recommend, if you did see any positions you're interested in, apply for them, and then obviously myself or Melanie or one of the team will be in touch to discuss further. So yeah, certainly of interest to us. So in terms of the internships, yeah, obviously we do have intern opportunities coming up all across the year. These are as and when the position arises. Some are 6 months, some are 12 months, both in the UK, and we do see a number of roles advertised in Denmark. When we have these positions, we will advertise them. We will advertise them for around about 1 month. So obviously I would certainly recommend keeping an eye on Arla Careers website, and obviously if it's something that you are interested in, whether it be UK based or Europe, and you're open to move, certainly apply for it, and then again one of the team will certainly be in touch. But yeah, like I said, we do have internship roles, but we can't really say when they come out. It's just obviously as and when the business need is there. Yep. So yeah, certainly keep an eye on the careers website. Yeah.
For the internships as well, we work quite closely with the universities, so they will help link up any students that might be suitable, so it could be worth reaching out, obviously from that perspective. But right now we don't actually have anything that's available. We've recently filled a HR position that we've got for an internship. Next question, what do you look for in an ideal candidate during the interview process? I guess in terms of the graduate schemes, what we would look for is someone that's got that ambition, that drive, and you know, the hunger to want to be a part of Arla Foods and the journey that we're going on. I personally think that you need to really think about where you want to do your graduate scheme and then what you want to do after that, and have maybe like a 5-year plan in mind of the route you want to go down.
Yeah, and a big thing for me is just being yourself. I mean, obviously what we do want at Arla obviously is a difference in character. So like obviously Melanie said, it's having that ambition, that drive. So our 3 main values are lead, sense, create. So it's just obviously having an understanding of how you'd want to lead in an operation, or how you'd want to lead in a project, how you'd sense different obviously cultures within our business, and how you'd obviously look to create new ways of working, new initiatives. So yeah, it's kind of just being yourself, understanding Arla and what we're about, and yeah, obviously just doing a bit of research prior to that. But yeah, certainly having an ambition and having a goal of where you want to be in 5 years is a big thing. But obviously with regards to the actual interview process itself, the biggest advice I could say is obviously just be yourself, yeah.
I have put my email address in there though, so if anybody does think of something, if they can't think of anything right now but they want to reach out and have a chat a little bit later, like I've already said, feel free to reach out and ask any questions that you might have.
I'm just going to put my email there as well. So again, like Melanie says, please feel free to drop me an email, any questions, whether it's opportunities or just a bit of advice on our interview process. More than happy to help.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. I don't think we've got any further questions, but as Alex and Melanie said, the email addresses are in there. And as I say that, as it normally occurs, another question pops in. What are the eligibility of the finance graduate program? Do you need to study finance at university?
In terms of the finance graduates, I guess somebody that's been studying finance would prioritise over another candidate because they've already got like the qualifications that they've been going into that route. So it would help massively, and as you can imagine, we get so many applications, and so somebody that's kind of already got that drive and the passion for studying finance would definitely help for that. I don't think off the top of my head I've seen candidates come in that haven't had a route of studying finance already at university to be going on to that programme. Where does sustainability management graduates fit into the graduate programme? Good question. So we recently actually had an internship that studied sustainability management at university. I guess how that would fit into the graduate programme, it depends entirely on which route you would want to go down. I think the F15 one would be a very good opportunity because I think finance, marketing and sales, albeit they do all have sustainability elements in it, but if you really wanted to drive sustainability, it just depends how big on that agenda it is for you, because the programs throughout head office are not purely focusing on sustainability, but they do play a massive part into that, considering the journey that we're on.
Yeah, and just to add to that as well, obviously within the F15 there is an operational route to market. So obviously if you were to do your rotation within operations and that was obviously somewhere that you really felt the passion for, again obviously that would certainly plug into sustainability. And on the production operations graduate program, again obviously having that visibility of site, obviously getting involved from a site projects perspective on cost saving initiatives within site, again that would obviously certainly be a route into sustainability. So yeah, they're the two I'd certainly prioritise if you were looking for the sustainability route, would be the production management and the F15 programme.
What happens after the F15 programme? Are you asked to pick a division, or how would that work? So just to give you an example, someone that's recently come off of the F15 programme, you know that you're going to be coming off it, so you want to kind of plan ahead. You've done your rotations, you know what kind of role you're itching to kind of get into. So most people do secure a permanent full-time role before they come off of the F15 programme. That's in an ideal situation. Recently we've had someone come off of the programme and go into a business manager position within sales at head office. So yeah, hopefully you would secure a role at Arla in a permanent position, and you'd know well ahead of finishing that programme, because you'd be applying for these roles, you'd be showing an interest in them. So it is quite a smooth transition if you're proactive on that.
Yeah, and just adding to that, I mean, on the summer series, we did have a case study of an individual that passed the F15 programme, and in the last 3 years, I think she's done 3 different roles in 3 different countries. So again, there is the opportunity so all opportunities with Arla are shared internal first. So we have an advertisement board where any position within Arla Foods, UK or European or globally, is accessible to any employee. So obviously you have the opportunity to apply for positions, and obviously during that programme, you will obviously have a mentor. So you can discuss where your passion is, where you'd like to be situated after your programme, and then obviously put in the necessary applications, and yeah, so like I said, there's a number of routes, but yeah, we do obviously look at where you've performed best and obviously what your passion is. So yeah, where possible would allow you to pick your division, but again, yeah, there's a lot of flexibility there. Emmanuel, sorry, you got your hand up. You know, unmute yourself and.
Okay, thank you. My name is Emmanuel. My question is, I want to confirm if the company assists with getting work permit with the US Embassy, just in case just so to confirm if the company considers international students and assist with work permit.
Yes, we do. So as a business, we do go down the sponsorship route. So yeah, there's many elements of sponsorship that we look at. So yeah, to answer the question in a general sense, yes, we would look at that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Lovely. Well, thank you, everybody.
That's brilliant. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for all the questions, and thank you so much to Alex and Melanie for giving such a great insight into all the opportunities available at Arla. Really great to see how broad and diverse the program is, particularly how international it is as well. It's absolutely fantastic. Just as I say that again, got another raised hand from Tosin.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you very much. I just wanted to ask that if you wish to volunteer, what do you need to do, please?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
I'm asking with regards volunteering to work with Arla.
As far as I'm aware of, we don't do like volunteering. The things that we do would be like the internships, the graduate programs. We have had some work experience with us before, but it just depends if we've got the capacity or a need to be able to support someone on that work experience journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, fabulous. Third time's a charm. Always great to so fantastic to get so many questions through. And thank you, Melanie and Alex, for answering so many. It's really great. Thank you also to all the students for joining. You've been fab, as I say, lots of questions. It's always good to see you kind of taking advantage of this opportunity to speak to Alex and Melanie about the opportunities. So thank you very much for attending. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. I hope you have a great afternoon and take care. Farewell. Goodbye.
Lovely. Thanks everybody.
See you soon.